Give the call to the Honourable the Leader of the Opposition.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Prime Minister. Under Labor's tax policy, Australians will be forced to find cash they don't have to pay tax on income they haven't earned. Prime Minister, it takes a lot to unite Paul Keating and John Howard, but both are totally against this unfair tax. Will the Prime Minister abandon his plans to work with the Greens and instead join me, the crossbench, Paul Keating and John Howard to reject this unfair tax?
Give the call to the Prime Minister.
Thanks very much. Well, tax was an issue at the last election. It was an issue on May the 3rd. And in the budget brought down by the Treasurer in March, we had not one tax cut but two tax cuts. And we brought forward the legislation before this parliament and we passed it on the Wednesday, and then it went through the Senate as well later that day. So as a direct result of the actions that we have taken, we will see income tax cuts for all 14 million taxpayers, following up from the income tax cuts that we delivered last July for all 14 million taxpayers, delivered on July 1 next year, and then a further tax cut the year after, on July 1 the year after. Now, that is action that we took, and today, of course, Parliament has begun. We've had our first piece of legislation was to assist people by putting more dollars in their pockets with the 20% cut in student debt, delivering benefits on average of $5,500. But had we not been successful on May the 3rd, we know what the first piece of legislation was going to be. Because, remarkably, those opposite went to an election saying that they would actually introduce legislation to increase income taxes, for every single Australian taxpayer by increasing that first marginal tax rate.
Order.
Not once but twice.
Prime Minister will pause and the Leader of the Opposition will take her point of order.
It's a point of order on relevance, Mr Speaker. The Prime Minister is not addressing the particular tax that he knows I am asking about, the superannuation tax. The tax that we referred to in the question is not being addressed by the Prime Minister.
Order. I know where the Leader of the Opposition is coming from. She was talking about a policy topic about a tax. It wasn't mentioned specifically. The Prime Minister was asked about under the government's tax policy. So just remind the Leader of the Opposition you can't bring new material into the point of order. I understand her point of order. She's trying to get the Prime Minister to talk about a specific topic, but the name of the tax would be helpful for future questions. And I'll just make sure that we deal with this issue of relevance, and I just remind all members on page 567 of practice about direct relevance. We're not getting into bad habits early, but I'm generally making sure ministers and the Prime Minister refer to the policy topic, and he'll need to refine his remarks regarding the tax policy he was asked about.
I'm certainly talking about tax policy, and that was what I was asked about, and our tax policy is pretty clear. We want people to earn more, and we want more to keep more of what they earn. That's our policy of those opposite. Those opposite. The Liberal and National Party went to the election on May the 3rd calling for higher taxes and bigger deficits. That is what their platform was at the election. And no wonder that there's a vacancy down there, Mr Speaker, because those opposite were rejected because Australians do want to earn more, and they want to keep more of what they earn, and that is what we will deliver.